Hello! I am trying to get this working. Y'all can hear me okay, right? Yeah, okay, looks like it. Let me launch the game we're playing tonight, which is the Beginner's Guide. Uh, it should be showing up soon on screen here. Unless it just doesn't. Hold on. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, cool. Uh, yeah, sure, whatever. We'll figure out if I need to change the visual settings. Apply. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Okay, well, oh god, I am. Am I lagging? Am I all good? Alright, yeah, well, it should be fine. I don't think this game's gonna be super intensive. Oh, I say that, but actually my hold on, nope. Okay, we're gonna be we're gonna lower some of the stuff. There we go. Okay, that should be a bit better. Well, yeah. So this is the beginner's guide. Let's just start. But it's made by the same person that's like the lead behind the Stanley Parable. It was made after the original Stanley Parable's release. And yeah, I think the game will explain itself as it goes. Audio is on. And you guys should be able to hear this okay. Simple enough controls. WASD and mouse.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda.
Yeah.
Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
Mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Gotcha. Okay, now I'm gonna check something if I can enable captions. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay, cool.
But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this?
Right.
This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Alright, yeah, sure, we can try that.
It's 2008.
Also, I swear I turned on captions. I want to do this for, like, accessibility purposes. But maybe it'll have to wait until
Coda starts making
later.
these games,
That'll pop up.
and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
Okay, yeah, that sounds
And I
like
think
me.
he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder.
Okay, yeah, no, that's yeah, that's very relatable. As a game designer and just like general creative, I have a large graveyard of almost projects. Also, hold on, I'm gonna do a quick thing in VTube Studio. I'm just gonna I'm gonna zoom in. Apparently, I'm gonna remove my physics because it is lagging real bad. So we're just gonna do that. Physics be gone. And now it should be maybe marginally better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. But yeah, no. So yeah, that feeling of having a bunch of unreleased projects, it's just like, yeah, that makes sense. My first instinct whenever I saw the boxes was just, first of all, testing out placing objects or whatever, but also, maybe trying to set up some sort of jumping puzzle or whatever, like a parkour thing. I am still laggy. Video, advanced options. Let us go to low, low, low. Okay. Apply. Come on. Don't break. Oh. Well. It crashed and it gave me a frowny face whenever it did crash. Well, maybe we'll be able to start with subtitles this time. Maybe that'll help with that. Also, I just want to point out that the loading screen, the company name, wherever, is Everything Unlimited Limited. So that's pretty cool. So audio... Yeah, okay, so full captions are on. Let's start. So we're going to start from the beginning again, but that's fine. Yep, audio is on. But yeah, no, this is interesting. I love the idea of, like, looking through... like, there's only so much you can figure out about a person based on looking through their work, but sometimes it is really evident.
Hi there. Thank you very much.
There we go,
for
there's the
playing
captions.
Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story...
That's understating it.
Today, I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
I wonder if those dates have any
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make.
Right.
So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
And mostly it's just...
I like the way
learning the
that
basics
he,
of
like,
building a
talks.
3D environment.
It almost reminds me of, like,
What I like is that
also,
even though he
wow,
starts from the
that's a
simple
bit
aesthetic of a
stuttery,
desert
but that's
town,
fine.
He then
But,
scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating
what was
crates
it?
around the level. And of course, it
Hold on, narrator. Davey, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. The idea that, like, what was I gonna say? Immediate questions going in. Is Coda a real person? Is this story a real story? And all that sort of stuff are all questions I'm going to be thinking about this whole time.
destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder.
I wonder what the ramp
what
here
was
is
going
for.
through his head as he was building this. This is what I like about
Like, I
all of
guess
Coda's
the
games.
setting it, like, trying to let you
Not
get
that
up on
they're
here.
all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to
Also,
their
the fact that
creative-
it's all ramps and
I want
not
us to see
stairs
past
is
the
actually
games
such a big
I wanna
mood.
get to know
Stairs are,
who this
like,
human
difficult to
being really
implement,
is.
especially if you're starting out.
And that's exactly
Can
what
we?
we're going
Can I
to
get
do
up on this? I want to try to jump up this
So,
thing.
it's 2008. Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet. He just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on
I'm
his
trying to, like,
computer
crouch jump to
forever.
get onto this.
And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder.
I don't know how that ties
So,
into being
you
a
know, this was
recluse.
just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped.
Okay.
In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
Right, okay.
And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting,
Right.
and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start
I like
creating
this
again.
path going to
And if the
nothing.
people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
Sure, okay.
So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at davey.reedon WREDEN
Uh-huh.
at gmail.com.
I wonder if that's like his real
Okay,
email.
that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
Okay, cool.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay, cool. So this is still really early on. Ooh. This reminds me of like Antechamber. That. Oh, ooh, hello. Oh, you got like a Coda.
This game is called Escape from Whisper.
I don't know if Coda is a he or a she. I'll go with they. Actually, I forget. I think they said he. I'm not sure. I'll go with they for now. That means they got like a voice actor, or they found like a audio bite to get this voice for the narration.
And it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I don't know. This seems pretty exciting so far. That alarm sound, it rings a bell. Also, the door pathways. Okay.
You can click to fire the gun.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I figured, but... So that pathway's blocked. I like the vibe going on here. I think it's a bit loud, but still. These doors feel like they should be too short for me, but they're just not.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Oh. Are there gonna be enemies spawning from there?
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
Right, yeah.
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Oh, you can run out of bullets, I see.
We don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is.
My guess, the way that I would interpret it, looking at the way that those doors are opening and closing, given the narration there, it's probably just enemies were meant to be spawning out of those doors, but then AI is hard to implement, especially if you're starting from scratch. And this looks like he's not dealing with like a level editor. It looks like he's probably running this, just like making this from scratch in, say, like Unity. This would have been 2008, so the game dev engine tools would be a lot more difficult to work with than like modern Unity or Unreal. So, yeah, trying to build AI from scratch for a shooter sounds like it'd be one of those sticking points where you just be like, all right, okay, never mind, I'll scrap this project, I'll come back to it later if I have the skill set. And I say that from experience. That's the sort of like, there's a lot of projects, like in my case, I had a project that I was working on, but trying to figure out online connectivity is where I was like, okay, no, this needs to be an online game, and I don't have that skill set yet. I'll wait until I do to like either pitch this to a bigger studio, or I'll wait until I know what I'm doing with that to be able to work on that. So, yeah. Anyway.
And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
I mean, you can do both. You can talk about what you think they were probably about to do, but... So, yeah. Sup, beginners? Yeah, hello, CD. Welcome in.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh, that's a fun skybox issue. Oh yeah, you can see the corner of the skybox too. I like the particle effect that they use for the gun here. And that space texture is pretty neat. And yeah, probably another spawner room. I hope you like alarm bells, CD. Because it seems like we're having that for a while. This would be a difficult corridor to have combat
the
in.
Space station has a labyrinth on it.
Ah, okay.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, I wanted to solve the maze. No. I want to solve the maze.
Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Yeah, there we go. Fuck you, I'm gonna explore the game as intended. But yeah, this sort of thing is like common in early game development. I took a level design class this semester, and one of my classmates... Oh, I think this is the entrance. Okay, yeah. One of my classmates made something that was just like a stalling, like, not even like a pick-up pipe. 'Cause, like, Mario Maker pick-up pipe is a good example of this, where people will just be like, ooh, we'll do a fun guessing game to stall for time, or like to for exploration, but it's really just kind of boring. But yeah, I don't know. Mazes can be fun in their own right. I love a good maze, especially in real life.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
I mean, all of it's pretty
The
interesting,
game has
but
this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
right.
Hey, you there, in the engine room.
Uh-huh.
You could finish
That's
it
me.
off.
Yeah.
That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If
Okay.
your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Oh, it's like a trolley problem, almost. Is there any choice to not do it, I wonder? If I just sit here. Oh, God. Well, in we go. Dead.
Let me pause here for a second.
Sacrifice time.
What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Right.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh. Levitating up. Oh, I like this. I don't know if this was a bug.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system.
I like the... I don't know if the narrator is going to get to this, but I call him the narrator. This is Davey. He has a name in this case. But I like the idea that it's also like you die and you're ascending and you get to like with your soul, you get to see what was around you the whole time or whatever.
Or this floating could be the afterlife.
Yeah, exactly.
A peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse.
Right.
I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs.
Right.
So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I wonder how you end up with this sort of glitch, because I'm thinking like in my own development history, like God, it would be something along the lines of maybe if you're a dead player, like maybe they're trying to get the effect of rotating sideways, but they had some sort of issue with like the physics engine where like they counteracted gravity to... I don't know. I'm sure it's possible. Like spaghetti code can do a lot of magical things. But yeah.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh. Ooh, this is interesting. You have to like look around. This looks like a secret wall with the lighting, but it's not. Okay. Probably just a lighting artifact. Okay, that makes sense. The past was behind her. Well, the future could not be seen.
And
Ooh.
relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
Why does the future keep
Coda's trying to
changing?
give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
I like this so far. Oh god, this is a cool design. I mean, there's having the map change based on where you're looking and where, like, the triggers and whatnot. Yeah, that's nice. And why does the future keep changing? Yeah. Like, and just from, like, a metaphorical standpoint, seeing that, like, you know, feeling like you never know where exactly you're going. You might have an idea of what the future is, but you can't see it. And even if you can't see it, then, like, you almost have a feeling that it's changing ahead of you because you still have your guesses as to what's going to happen. Lying on your side to death was a default death state in Half-Life 2 Source Engine. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. No, okay, yeah. I was thinking that too, because I remember that sort of thing from, like, Gary's mod as well. Oh god, that means Coda was building these in the Hammer engine. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, Coda. I apologize that you had to deal with that with the Hammer engine, especially in, like, 2008 or whatever? Ugh. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Huh. Yeah, I guess like stopping for a moment. The future is always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it? Oh, the goodbye door.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
I like that.
Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
I think it's almost like that was like a poem, but in game form, basically. Oh, I love that as like a little art project. Oh, that's amazing. Oh god. Yeah, I'm okay. Based on knowing that if there is like a default death state in Half-Life Engine or whatever, then yeah, there's no way that floating would have been a bug. My guess is that someone walked into that, Coda showed it to someone, and they were like, "Wait, why am I floating?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I guess it should just kill you or whatever, be less confusing." But and then with the second game, maybe it was like trying to make it more deliberate, like clearly an art house project type thing. All right, I can walk in any direction. Oh, okay, but I'm very narrowly confined onto this path. I'm already getting some ideas about, possible mental states going on. And this is probably assuming too much, but like, because, one thing, healthy boundaries are important, but, like, you can't really assume too much about a person based only on what you see about them, like, online or through their work or whatever. Like, and that's part of why I call this, why I have this title of this stream what it is. Like, to the extent that, people only know a small amount of me as a streamer, of what I present, how I present myself online, or of, like, other streamers, or content creators, or actors, or authors, or game developers, and designers, and writers. But that said, anyway, if I am going to start making assumptions or making hard reads, I'm thinking it's like some sort of anxiety about the future, and I might be projecting here about, facing your future, not like that uncertainty or whatever. In this case, feeling like, confined on this path. Now, maybe that path is comforting, but if it was comforting, you would probably think that maybe it'd be more something like drawing you to it than forcing you in it. Basing your no spoilers and not backseat tags, with your own second guessing, assuming you might get into. Yeah, I know like a bit about this game spoiler wise, but I don't know enough that I'm comfortable with chat spoilers. Oh, I'm now entering. What am I entering? But yeah, thank you for being considerate with spoilers and not doing them.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I mean, already it seems pretty interesting. Like, that idea of, again, like, the darkness, like, you don't know, feeling forced on this path, almost, but not knowing what's ahead. Like, it's a similar sort of vibe as the walking backwards thing. Like, you know what the path is, but you don't know where it's going, and the darkness and whatnot almost makes it kind of spooky. Now entering might signify like a change in like a life phase or something, like a major, like, say, moving to a new city or getting a new job or something like that. And so, yeah, like, facing those sort of uncertain decisions, it can be really scary, and like not knowing what's next, having a vague idea, but that it keeps changing. Right, December 2008. So it's been a couple months now.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction. It's interesting how...
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making...
It's interesting... Yeah, blah. Have you ever played The Path by Tale of Tales? Well worth hunting down. It's a brilliant game art poem thing. No, but I will be bookmarking that for later. That sounds... I'm just going to copy that down, and I'm going to save that to myself. So that I remember that, because that sounds interesting. I love the idea, like, talking about games as an art form and all that. And the more, like, calm, like, experimental type things, trying to tell, like, smaller stories or very story-driven things, like with potent messages, all that stuff. Anyway, I think it's interesting how Davey keeps like almost like downplaying Coda's work, which yeah, these are rudimentary things, and but it's like rudimentary, but like there's still stuff here. Like you putting any amount in the same way that like you wouldn't want to like point at someone's like rough sketches or whatever and be like, oh, that's bizarre. It's like no, like that's just kind of rude and diminishing. It's like you're practicing, or if not practicing, maybe this is what they're trying to do. I don't know. First thing game will tell you, get to Grandma's house and stay on the path. Ooh.
In these early games, he would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it.
Right.
Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him.
Yeah, sure, okay.
And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, oh god, is this gonna be like Death of the Author? Is that gonna be the topic of the thing? Not in the literal, the author dies, but like the idea that once you release something, you no longer have control of its meaning. Like the meaning and the interpretation is in the hands of the reader or the player or the viewer, in that you may have intended it to say something, but if it can get interpreted as something else, and you no longer have the right to say what the story means once it's released. I couldn't possibly comment. Yeah. Oh man, no, I'm just gonna keep hypothesizing. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, like I think it's totally valid to like, you know, make something. I'm seeing if I can try to like clip onto the staircase, or like stand on the railing, but I can't. But like, no, it's totally valid to just like make something, get it out there, and then, you know, let it be. And then it's like, okay, cool, that was my practice. Ooh, it's getting slower as you get closer.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Oh.
So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed, so you can enter the door for yourself.
No, I don't want to. I'm gonna do it as intended. I think that's, I love the idea going on here. Like, maybe it's like, you see your goal, but it gets more and more, like, progress, like, it starts out fast, and then it gets slower and slower, but the goal gets nearer and nearer. Like, it's late here, so I might drift into quietness from time to time, but I enjoy the vibes. Look forward to seeing you build up a pile of theories or dig yourself deeper into a hole of assumptions, or both. Yeah, that's very accurate here. Enjoy the lurk, and thank you for stopping by. But yeah, no, I love this idea that, like, because I experience this all the time with projects I'm working on and whatnot, and I'm sure you guys do too, but like, you know, that initial burst of inspiration, then you get to the more complicated stuff that can't be done as quickly, and you see the goal there because you've gotten it started and you know what's happening. The door opens, you can see it, and it just gets slower and slower. I don't know if the fact that Coda's not really sharing these maybe means that either he doesn't think it's like good enough to be shared, or that, you know, he just doesn't have, like, I don't know if like itch.io was a thing in 2008, or like an equivalent page, or just like, you know, maybe these are just deeply personal to him, or maybe he's just experimenting or whatever, trying to find something that he's like more proud of and wants to, like, until he makes his like magnum opus or whatever. Or yeah, maybe this like almost like vent art, like, you know, like artists who make like sketches whenever they're upset or whatever, just to get the feelings out. Same with like writing, poetry, lyrics, all that stuff. But yeah, no, this feeling of ever so slowly going up the stairs. We're almost there. We're making it. And this gives me time to talk about all this stuff, so you know what, Davey, I will not use your speed up cheat. I wonder if he'll say anything because I didn't use it at all. But look how far, like, you know, we're making it closer and closer. We're getting there. If you keep working on it, you will get there eventually. It's just a matter of whether the rest of that climb is worth it, if you really are confident in the final thing you're working on, and whether you think it'll be good enough to make. And, you know, sometimes there might be, like, holes in the steps, right? Like, you might not even be able to finish it at the time, or on your own, or whatever. Maybe you'll need to get help, more expertise, all that stuff, more budget, even. But, you know, a lot of things you can just keep climbing, right? Ever so slowly. Come on, we're almost there. I can see it. I can see the entrance, the wood flooring in this gray box of a door of the building. The ambient, like, wind is also just that, like, you know, that feeling of seclusion almost. Come on. And the thing is, what I find interesting is that Davy was like, why put the door here if you're not going to share it with anyone? I mean, why put any of this level here if you're not going to share it with anyone, right? By that logic. And maybe he was just too impatient to ever finish climbing the stairs when he did find this. I also find it interesting that Coda only shared with Davy while the things were in development. That's interesting. I don't know what to make of that yet, but it's a good call out, I think. Now we're inside. There's like a bar or something, or like a... I like the phrase vent art, but I can't help being a little frustrated. That sounds like... Oh, yep. There's a list of words that are... Also, I hate that you have the Among Us character on hand. But, Oh. Oh, okay, hold on, wait, okay. We're gonna pause here for a moment. First of all, there's a list of words that have been ruined, and I hate it. Like, I used to use the word fortnight to mean 2 weeks. Copy-pasted it just for you. Aw, thanks. But, thanks, I hate it. But, so, fortnight to mean 2 weeks, that's been ruined. Bad time, the word sans, if you're talking about, like, you know, like, graphic design, fonts, typefaces, sans serif and stuff like that is an important thing. Let's see. There's a couple other ones that have been gotten by Undertale and Deltarune. And then vent, sus, among, imposter, suspicious, the full word. Just God, yeah. Anyway. Stand on X staring at... Oh. The wall is destroyed, you're given a medal.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Battle Royale is just a crazy movie, yeah. Oh god. Yeah, okay. Oh god, okay. I'm gonna have to pause to analyze a bunch of these, but more importantly, so I was thinking of the stairs as like the progress of developing a game, but in this case it's like brainstorming the ideas for it. Like the long climb, like you come up with ideas so fast early on, and then as you like get maybe more burnt out, or you just run out of ideas, it gets harder and harder to make them.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person.
Right, yeah.
But that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what he intended. Oh, maybe that, yeah, or like the climb to understand this person, I guess. I don't know. This feels more personal, the fact that he's not intentionally sharing it. A button that you press to stop the chaos that doesn't work. Yep, that checks out. Lavish manuals that come with the game give... Oh, never mind. I wish I could read more of that. Ready, set, fish. Okay. This is giving me more, like, Source Engine vibes. I'm not sure if that's accurate. Also, like, the stairs equals forced thinking time before jotting down a one-sentence summary so the idea is revised and refined. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think so. That's another good interpretation of it. I think, like, something that happens in design, creative stuff, writing, or whatever, like, the biggest enemy is a blank canvas or a blank Word document or whatever. Just try and get that initial idea. And then once you have something, you can just build off of that. But getting that initial something, anything, can be difficult. Especially if you, like, early on when you're just starting, you have all these ideas like, ooh, this would be a cool thing to make, this would be a cool thing to make. But then as time goes on, you kind of start running dry and you have to like more actively search for ideas that you can work with. But then, yeah, also like refining it and whatnot as well is another process that starts fast and then gets slower. This is a one-way jump.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Is it pull the lever? Second biggest enemy is being too protective of a bad start. Yeah, you need to be able to redline. Like, if you can't redline something, then you are screwed. Wait, do I have to, like... Hold on. Did I lock myself in? Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Oh, there's a lever on the inside. Ah.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Okay. Ooh,
We're going to see it a lot.
some dots. Sometimes you can't build a good project from your first creations. Yeah, there's... Oh, the music's a bit loud here. There's a lot of projects that, like, again, I have a lot... Like, most things that you will make or come up with will not be good. Not initially, at least. But, like, most ideas are bad, and it's about going, like, trying enough times until you find the good one, and then working on that. That's why I have such a large graveyard of projects where I'll be, like... Usually what I'll end up doing, if I have an idea for a game, is I'll come up with it, I'll jot down as much as I can into a Google Doc, and then if I keep working on it, and I keep, like, and I'll just, like, keep thinking about it and try to get some sort of testable demo as soon as possible, usually through, like, Tabletop Sim or, like, pen and paper, like, pre-existing stuff. Even if it's a video game, doing something like making a board game equivalent to test with can help out a lot. And then just testing it and seeing if the initial concept is workable. And if it's not, then you let it go. Save the ideas for later. Maybe you can find a way to rework into something better in the future. But yeah, it's about, working through, don't let the sunk cost fallacy get you, really. And when you do find that good project, then yeah. I don't know if you ever watched Drawfeed. Oh, I've watched some of their stuff, but not that much. Embrace the phrase delete your art so much that you can buy shirts with it on. Yeah. No, in my case, I don't tend to delete the stuff that I make. I just have like a folder or whatever. Or I just sort of let it sit away in the either maybe later or like I don't like deleting it just for the sake of in game design like for game design specifically, it's something that I can always like refer back to of like, oh, that was a cool idea that it didn't work in that context, but it could work in this context. Like, for example, this one project that I've worked on in the past and I want to pick up eventually is a card game. I want to make it a digital card game inspired by Slay the Spire, but making it into a multiplayer experience, like a multiplayer deck builder, like almost like Battle Royale type thing. I'm not sure. The main inspiration was combining Slay the Spire with something like Teamfight Tactics or whatever. But originally that idea started from me trying to make a card-based tabletop RPG. Instead of using dice, it would use cards to do your abilities and whatnot. But then the more I worked on that, I was like, no, there's a lot of stuff that I'd have to figure out that wouldn't really work that well with cards. Like maybe it'd be workable, but I think like the card combat itself is the most interesting part. And so then I thought, okay, let's try making a board game, like board-based tactical combat, like just taking the combat side and making a board game out of that. And I'm like, nah. It just didn't work out. Like as I was early on designing it, just a lot of stuff felt really clunky. And then I was just like, okay, let's remove the board and let's just make it like a... Because part of what was interesting is that it was like, as you level up, you draft new cards to your decks or whatever, instead of like getting new stats or whatever. And so I was like, okay, that the drafting stuff was cool, but let's just try just making it a card game. And that is what actually started working out. Like I have a tabletop sim demo of it, and it's fun. It turned out really well. I've done a lot of playtests, and I have like the people who I tested with were like, hey, Innes, when can we try this again? Basically. Like I gotta play it just for fun at some point. And that's the project that like I want to work on in the future. It's just a very large scale thing that I'd want to like have actual resources for. Like because I don't know how to do internet connectivity stuff, and it's just like a big project trying to make a whole card game engine, basically. But that like, you know, eventually you can go back to even dead projects, and then, like, you know, sometimes you'll just have that 3 a.m. light bulb moment. It's like, oh, I know how to make it work. It's amazing. It's always amazing having those, like, late night inspirations where it's like, oh, finally all those old puzzle pieces of, like, I know this concept has some cool stuff going on, but it just doesn't work in this context or this context. But being able to go back to it, or just having it running in the background in your mind, can let you, like, inspiration strike at, like, the weirdest times and just be like, yes, okay, I figured it out. This is how it can work. Anyway, let's continue. So apparently we're going to see that puzzle a lot. Also, there's those 3 dots. I don't know what that's about. Almost looks like a cute little face. Lots of jumping down into spots that you can't come back from. I'm going to turn down the music a little bit for this section. Yeah, lots of one-way jumps, which I find interesting. I wonder if that's meant to signify something. And, like, the colored lines here? I don't know. I like the colored line on the ledge, almost like a mind the gap type thing.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
Right.
Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. Wait, is there a puzzle here, I wonder? Oh, I didn't press enter, I just clicked. But wow.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea.
Huh?
So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior.
Right.
And in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Right, okay.
Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
It kind of sits... Again, the fact that this wasn't released makes it kind of sit as, like, a bit of abstract stuff for the creator himself, right? Like, the idea that the player is only able to explore a little bit. Or maybe, honestly, what might also be likely is that maybe he was just testing around with a whole lot of different level layouts and just found the one he liked best. I also find it interesting that the puzzle is closing a door behind you to keep moving forward. Like, as the only way to move forward. And that, again, that sort of feeling of, like, moving towards a future and having to lock yourself away from the past. It seems interesting. We're back on this path. You are now exiting. Huh.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game.
Huh.
There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them.
Maybe. The other thing I'm thinking is that if you want... Because Coda didn't necessarily intend for his work to be compiled like this. So this might be like how the entering thing I was talking about, how it might have been talking about entering a new phase of his life. The exiting might be leaving something behind or whatever. Like, it might be entirely separate. And again, still on this forced path. So that's interesting. It might also just be that it's like, you know, the meta-narrative between his games. But it could be its own individual thing. Yeah, and a lot of time passed since the previous one, given that this is in January 2009. Why was the last one called something to do with fishing? Like, catching one fish in the water of lots of more fish or something? I don't know.
And once we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Maybe. Again, you can only assume so much. great and lovely descent. Oh, there sure is a descent here. In this nice white void.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Yeah, okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Right, we've been talking about this.
In other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Right, yeah. I swear, if someone streamed this game and only said maybe each time they paused for a thought, it would be the most accurate analysis yet. Yeah. Yeah, honestly. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing, right? You can never know for certain when you're looking at this sort of thing. And it raises a question of, like, should you even try to know, or should you just enjoy the art as is? And again, I'm trying to look at the art as is in a way, like, I'm taking my own personal meaning from each of these games, and whether or not that's what Coda was feeling, it's my meaning, right? I found it, it's mine, I get to keep it. And it's what I got out of it. Whether or not it was intended by Coda, I don't need to care necessarily. I only care because the author, like, because Davey seems to care so much. That's why I'm thinking about Coda. If I was just playing this myself, then, you know, I would find my own meaning, like I kind of am, and applying it to my own life. You guys are probably going to be able to start assuming stuff about me based on my commentary about this game, right? Like, also, the Streetwise Fool.
To make all of these
That's a
games,
fun name.
Coda is using an engine called Source.
Okay, Source Engine, yeah, that
Like
checks
all
out.
engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly.
Right.
One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors.
Yeah, that checks
That's
out.
why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Right. Stanley Parable originally was also a
Tools
Half-Life
available to
mod
the creator
type
shape
thing,
what kinds of
Source Engine or
creative
whatever.
work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to
It's a game that really deserves a second or third playthrough. No matter how deep you get into it today, it's worth coming back off stream and looking even closer. Yeah, for sure.
notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I like this environment though. Like the flooring texture repeating is a bit awkward, but like I like this. I like the Streetwise Fool. That's a cool name for like a pub. Like that they have disability access. This is a well laid out like restaurant scene. Ooh, we got the back room stairs. Can I get across this jump? Yeah, there we go. Right in the kitchen. Okay, well, let's... Whoa, whoa, Source Engine. Yeah, okay, this is Source Engine. Alright. Start going down here. I don't know if there's fall damage, but I'm guessing we'll find out at some point. Okay, we're finding out. Motion blur. Okay, cool. Okay, goodbye. Whew. Okay, no fall damage. Nice. Speaking of Stanley, have you also played Dr. Langaskov, the Tiger, and the Terribly Cursed Emerald? 16 hour complete runs. You are giving me a lot of good game suggestions that I'll have to check out. Okay, actually, hold on. I know this is gonna sound like a shameless plug, but you just gave me the idea that I need to. Oh, it's another game by Davey. Okay, that checks out. Then yeah, I might have to give it a peek. But this is gonna sound like a shameless plug. But I have a Discord, and I should actually add like a suggestions channel to it. I'm gonna do that now, actually. While I'm thinking about it, we're gonna put a. Wait, do I already have a suggestions channel? Oh, I do already have a suggestions channel. Let's go. Okay, yeah, there's a suggestions channel in there. If you want to pop in and put the game suggestions there, I'll try to remember to take a look at them at some point. I like this. I like this sort of the like vortex of Source Engine nonsense. Just all like bleh. Oh, from William Pugh? Pug? Who? I don't know how to pronounce that last name. The other person behind Stanley. Gotcha, okay. God. I love this. Just below that restaurant, the Streetwise Fool. I wonder if that name means something. Pugh. Okay, William Pugh. Gotcha. it just... God, that's beautiful. Beautiful in that, like, game does a messy sense, in a way. What's down here? Hey, he figured out stairs at some point. That's nice. Instead of slopes. The lighting here is weird. It's like, oh, that's like sunlight, I guess? From an angle? Almost gives me like a sewer vibe right now. Oh, are we at the DMV? Okay. Like a prison cell. Oh. A prison maze. Oh, never mind. I've just been let into my cell. Gotcha. Oh. Up we go. What crimes did I commit? I'm not very Discordy, but I doubt you'll forget the titles as catchy as The Path or Dr. Langaskov the Tiger and a Terribly Cursed Emerald to win. Yeah, no. Definitely won't forget those names. Alright, into my cell.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, okay, for the first time, I think I'm also gonna skip that with the narrator. I'm God, yeah, chilling in here for an hour? I like the idea from, like, a, you know, narrative, like, design standpoint, but yeah. For my sake, I have a stream to run.
Something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable. Whether it means anything if no one can get through it.
Right.
And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible?
Well, if that's not the
So we
point.
just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box.
Oh my god.
Around in, and nothing else.
Coda's a legend.
Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
Oh my god.
There wasn't.
Mans is obsessed. Yeah, no, it's... like, that it might not be the point. Yeah, like, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm thinking that these games are just for Coda. They're just for themselves, right? Like, they don't have to be... And hell, this is playable. You could just sit there for an hour. You could just be patient. Same with the maze in the other one, or the slow climb. It's like, it is playable. That's just part of the message. It's that it's slow. I'm intentionally not progressing right now, by the way, just to talk about this. But like, the idea that, yeah, maybe you are supposed to wait for a while. It's playable. And again, the more I talk about this, the more I think that, yeah, Davey probably did tell Coda to fix the dying thing in the first game, the gun one. Yeah, okay. This is interesting. God. I wonder why a prison? Like, why making a game where you willingly jump down? You jumped... Oh! Okay. So, yeah, it's just saying a computer with a game running itself is a form of interaction. Yeah, in a way, yeah. Ironic, given that there's the Stanley Parable, there's the one ending where you push a button for, like, 4 hours or whatever. But no, okay, something interesting. Davey introduced this level talking about the limitations of the Source engine. In this level, you fall down like a garbled mess of Source engine default blocks or whatever into this prison where you're stuck for an hour and then you're let out. I wonder if this was meant to, you know, talk about the confines of working within a certain engine, of working within the tools that you're given. Or alternatively, being trapped within something regarding design or whatever. Or if that argument happened around the time that he was making this, maybe it was itself talking about the prison of having to work within people's expectations for what a game should be. Davey would walk up to a modern art exhibit and be like, you should make it more comprehensible. And it's like, no, that's not the point, right? It's like experience an art gallery, and yes, the baby game is a perfect example since it ends with you meeting the essence of divine art, yeah. We go deeper down under the prison. Just I hit enter, you said modern art, shared brain cell? Yeah, for real. Out of curiosity, do you also have like a interest in game development CD or something? Or like interest, or like do you do it yourself or whatever? Or are you just like a player of a fan of this guy's work? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
It's the puzzle again.
Oh.
With the exact same solution as the last time.
Yeah, locking the door behind you and moving forward to the next step.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
I wonder if he has the same interpretation I do. Also, wow! Wait, hold on. Going deeper into the prison, below it, you get to something more colorful, the bright sky, and its compressed clouds. But like, yeah, it's just from the internet, I guess. Used to be a lecturer in digital media, but not game dev at all. Ah, okay. Oh, those looked like they clipped in and out. Some weird lighting artifacting going on there. Huh. In the, at Wizard College, where I go to, like, interactive, or rather, digital media is oftentimes tied together with the, like, game design stuff for the majors and whatnot. So I'm familiar with the sort of oh, you there. Did you come from above? What was up there?
Here, Coda
Listen,
begins
speak,
using
listen.
a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Ooh.
Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Huh. Did you come up from above? What was up there? What would I want to answer with? Oh, it also said which one was talking. It was the one in the middle, I see. So the world stamped with whiteness was the first entrance. The prison they probably already know about, maybe. Who knows? And then the blocks was in between those. Covered a little bit of game design principles, very much from a sociological, Bazinga-inspired, pretentious angle. But that's a theory, a game theory. Ooh, what is that? That blank inspired. I'm curious about that. I'm gonna tell them about the floating blocks. That's the world above. You've been there. Yep. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yep. Just did that. Wrote man, play, and games. Ah, okay, gotcha. Again, perfect. Now tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how you got to the other side. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, God, this second answer almost feels like a call-out to Davy, so I'm gonna say it. So you learned nothing. Chaos gave us health. 1961 book still applies today. So these people in their nice little house still think this is also a prison. Even though it's much nicer than the actual prison we were in before. Like, they want to escape, almost like the grass is always greener type thing. Like, they want to escape to a different prison, if anything. And there's no way for me to tell them that I made it through myself. Interesting. Almost like an illusion of choice type of thing. Oh. Narrow corridor. What do you guys got to say? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it? We actually find the black space between the doors to be more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Ooh. Why would I care about the space between the doors? Feeling strange as I pass through it? Sure, we'll answer that second one. Don't think too hard about it. Okay. You'll see it again soon. Interesting. The heads just saying speak versus listen is interesting. I wonder if that's intentional or if that's like a placeholder for like facial animations or something like that. I don't know. I do think the door has something to do with like moving forward and locking yourself from the past.
Descent down to the final floor of the level.
The one lamppost. I've recognized this scene from like trailers and stuff like that.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost.
It's a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's going to appear
Kinda.
at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
Maybe?
We're gonna see it.
I did it again, okay.
Games are just gonna become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them.
Okay.
And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
I think, okay, first of all, the early games were already cohesive. They just weren't very developed, I guess. I'll wake the neighbors. Oh god. Yeah, they were maybe. Yeah. They were cohesive, but they weren't necessarily very well developed. They had a story. They had something they were trying to tell. Again, like poetry or whatever. They may have been short, but they had something. They were complete in a way. Now, the destination. If every game we're gonna. The other thing is that he says that it's gonna get clearer and clearer and clearer as we go on, and to an extent that's probably true. But also that might just be more confirmation bias narrowing down on what we think about Coda, having not met him or making base assumptions about him. And I think the lamppost. What would that mean? Why, if I was developing something? Why would I put lampposts at the end of my level? Just like have a fixation on them in a way. Like a symbol of peace, alluring something, like moth to a flame. Familiarity. It's an intentional decision, right? It's some sort. Maybe this is meaning to build cohesion between the games, whereas the previous ones may or may not have been connected in a way. But clear to whom? To you, to Davey, to the audience en masse? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, again, he never released these, right? So, but he was sharing them with Davey, so maybe he was trying to send a message to Davey, right? Through something. I'm not sure. Like, you know, maybe the conversations with the people or whatever, in a way, was trying... Like, and some of those dialogue options definitely felt like something that Davey would pick, right? So maybe, like, the games might not be made for Davey, but they're probably being made with Davey in mind at this point. So we'll see where this lamppost goes. I like the scene, though. This game's connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. Ooh. It's interesting how the initial viewing angle, or maybe it's just preserved between rooms, the initial viewing angle opening up to the ceiling. Nice room. Not. Rip. I wonder if these are real comments left by people, or if these were
So first
put
off,
in by
I'm
the
sure you
developer.
can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're
Well,
going to see have been written by Coda.
That answered my question. Getting all this from the top of my head, thinking, coming from this moment in chat, and I refuse to say anything that comes past playthroughs or watching a game. You'll get nothing from me. Yeah.
This was actually the first game of his that I ever played.
Oh.
This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up.
So, okay. So the previous ones were definitely not made with Davey in mind, because they hadn't met yet.
I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
Right.
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me.
Right.
And I cooled off eventually.
How do you beat this game? These are comments. If he's sharing these with Davey, then he might have been sharing these with other people privately. I don't know. But what I find interesting is that these are comments that something happens a lot where you'll assume how your audience will react to something, and that might make you overcompensate. There's an idea called lamp shading, where you'll like be like, oh, don't worry about this type of thing, it's fine, or whatever, preemptively about your own work. And I feel like this is what that is. He's like lamp shading his own work. And like, or almost like maybe, I don't know if this is meant to be mocking the people who don't get it, or like, you know, kind of venting about it. Whoa, holy shit, yep. Oh god, this is a cool area. I guess a game jam is semi-public with no specific viewer, but also no assumption that your work won't be seen? Yeah. Yeah, in this case, if this one was made for a game jam, then yeah, this would definitely be viewed by other people. And it'd be viewed by other people who are doing game jams, so they would have, like, an understanding of similar feelings, perhaps. Can you guys hear me? Oh. That's an interesting comment. Hello. Reasonable.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all
Yeah,
of them.
but I'll get to read
Either
all
way,
of them.
To me, they convey a sense of loneliness.
Not
I see
really.
this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
No. No, Davey, I'm gonna say no to that one, actually. I mean, you're free to take that interpretation with you. But I don't agree with that one, because these are comments about the game, and I doubt that Coda believes this himself. He's making these games, the fact that he's made so many at this point means he probably believes in this style, and he'll continue to make stuff like this. And it's for a game jam, it's like semi-public, as you said, CD. But I think it's like, again, like I said, kind of lampshading, or like pointing out like how people aren't like mass audiences or whatever don't get this kind of work. Like if it was on the internet, this is how some people would respond or whatever if this got into the wrong target audience. Hey, I can type here. Yep, you sure can.
But it's ironic.
Why?
That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
I don't...
And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing.
Oh god, Davey. Oh no 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 no. No 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 no. Davey, no. You already talked about how you were awkward earlier. This doesn't help. Oh god, this is why you're trying to read too much into this. Okay. Yeah, you had sort of like this... Okay, I'm gonna read a bit into Davey here. But in this case, I think it's fine because I think this is what the game wants me to do. The idea that he had like a bit of idol worship or whatever for this guy, kinda. I was like, wow, this guy's doing cool things, but I don't know how to talk to him, so I'm gonna try to overanalyze, find out more about him through his work because he won't tell me himself. Oh god, okay. Also, this comment in particular is really interesting.
I could
The
just get to
soon
know
we'll
you
suffocate.
through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I
You'll
felt as
receive
though
blue.
He was inviting me.
You'll believe
personally
Blue Speech Bubbles
into
can
his
talk.
world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Again, this doesn't feel like Coda's own thoughts. These feel like Coda putting in what he thinks other people would think. Right? Like comments about this game. Do not be afraid, do care. I saw a flying penguin, let me tell you, it's the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be that beautiful again. I am crying now and plan on ripping my eyes out. I must now go do that. Wow. That's something. It's like comical mixed with grotesque in a way. Oh god. How is there wood and grass and concrete here? What the fuck? Damn you, flying penguin. God. Balls! Vine boom sound effect. Doom. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Once upon a time, I did define fun. I'm king of the world! Yeah! This place makes me sad. Hey! Everyone read this. I did. Oh god, yeah, I want to keep going through these. This is like... Because these speech bubbles do get a bit of an insight into Coda. Maybe not directly as to what Coda's thinking, but what Coda thinks other people will view his work as. What the shit is this cavern? Boring. Oh, wait. I can assure you, guarantee that there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. I wonder if you can get to those speech bubbles there. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. I refuse to believe. It's nice to have defined fun after I mentioned, yeah, Huizinga. Oh, Huizinga, gotcha. I think I've heard that name now that you say that pronunciation. Butt, ass butt, yep. I need to go to the freaking bathroom. Recognize me, please. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Nothing here, go back. Don't listen to that guy! This reminds me of Mario Maker comments. A free t-shirt! Need other side door, why you so? Makes game, includes door, can't open door, thanks. Open Sesame, yeah, this is some level design stuff. Like, if you introduce a door, you should have a key for it or whatever. If you introduce a lock, you should have a key. Door, how open. About to go into GameFAQs.com or whatever. Dark Souls signpost, free armor, don't jump off here, yeah. Someday I'll meet the person who made this. I help people because the internal good feeling I get. Shout out to that guy. New room! Pog! New room! You hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. That does give a bit of a loneliness vibe. Scared of writing something I don't want to feel judged. Yeah. Okay, this feels like the deeper you get, the more personal to Coda maybe it gets. Again, like this whole thing screams like not wanting to release it to the wrong audience who won't get it. And that painting back there reminds me of like modern art like I was talking about. Can go in here, I think. Yeah, you sure can. Congratulations, I don't really know where to go with this. Don't bother. The game where you can leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. No, you didn't. I am compelled. Same here. Stop, turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Take my hand. Let's jump together. Huh. Cabbage shapes our nation. Sure. What is that painting? Doesn't that matter if you even get over there? Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. Hey, at least there's some positive you put in there. I think I'm this is not going anywhere. Next time I will do better. Need someone to talk to. This is a note? What's interesting is that this is supposed to be people in here leaving these comments. People in this this online game feeling like they need someone to talk to. Whether that applies to Coda or not, I'm not sure. Don't listen to the other notes. I'm not safe. Yeah, there is this sense of anxiety here. Today I learned that you cannot fall off. Yep. Ethical. I'm just gonna loop around and we'll get to the center from there. I saw a person walking down there, now it won't come back. Devil Tower Star. What? It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Oh. Yeah. Devil Tower Star. What is Devil Tower Star? Stop pretending you are other people. Oh, this is kind of meta because all these comments were left by Coda. Ugh. Who are all of you? Well done, all of you. Whoever made this has issues. Painting, what does it mean? Art. Yep, sure is. Good comment. Hey guys, how's it going? Just hanging. Help, I am trying to speak. Think it's about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. Interesting, even like the Coda is predicting people's interpretations to the art. From here it just looks like dots, yep. Cabbage shapes our nation, that guy again, sure. We won, all die someday. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Interesting. Maybe I'll feel real someday. Especially if that's a fake commenter. Yeah, that's an interesting comment. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. I'm sure you did, buddy. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it.
Need an escape.
And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next.
That's kind of what I've been saying. Hey. I beat him to it. But now that Davey's saying it, I'm not sure if I agree, because Davey is a very unreliable narrator, I think. But I think, I don't know, I'm kind of attached to my interpretation of that. That's how I interpret it for myself. I don't know if it applies to Coda, but that's how I would guess it would apply to Coda. I don't know if the whole, each game being one thought thing is real, but yeah. He cut it up and spread it between worlds. Almost there. I've seen everything. I've traveled the world. I never told anyone. God, this is... Oh, the whispering, too. I wish there were notes in the real world. I have some good news for you, but where's that meme from Splatoon of, like, I wish squids were real? I have great news for you, buddy. Become one with the spiraling nonsense, yep. Downward, keep digging.
Games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
I guess. the other thing is you close your eyes and push it really bad. The other thing is that it's like, even if it's not like that feeling of personal closure for him, it could be like, you know, the idea of like, okay, can't move back, moving forward, next step. It might not be like a coping mechanism, it might just be like, you know, signifying, hey, this is a new phase, almost at the end. Like, Davy really is projecting that Coda is really troubled, and I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like, some of the things really do give me that feeling of, like, anxiety towards the future, not knowing what's coming next. And it feels more like a, okay, you have to commit to moving forward than something of, like, it's committing to moving forward and locking up what's behind, I guess. Not coming back. He did say that he never went back to old projects, right? That he would make it, and then that's it, right? And so, that might honestly be it. Like, moving forward, not looking back. Wait for an hour, what do I do? Help. Shit, how you solve it. Developer answers, please. Doesn't make sense, second door won't open. Help. Okay.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment. A few seconds to reflect on.
Heading back to start later, guys.
That led you here.
It's not so bad in here.
Connect the pieces
No
together.
solution, there's no
To
second
grasp
switch.
at that elusive bigger picture.
Again, maybe there isn't a bigger picture. Yo, look at that comment, the one guy who made it through. Oh, now it's like a typewriter instead of the whispering. How do you leave notes? Oh, it's not a typewriter, it's photographs. No, it is a typewriter. Okay, yeah. Lots of typewriter. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything, I just need you to say something. Talk to you, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak. Oh, God. Porn stars die too.
This one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay, that last bit. Speak with me, please. Was that from Coda? Or was that... Because he met Davy in the development of that, and Davy was being a bit pushy. I wonder if that was talking about what it was like being with Davy, right? Or meeting Davy there. Having someone being like, hey, please talk to me, please, right? Or maybe Coda himself was like, hey, I want to talk with people, please come talk to me. It could be either way, it depends on who that orange voice is supposed to be. Oh, that's a nice little room. There's like a cage, or like a shutters, I guess? Maybe a cage, I don't know, to the outside. And was that like a wind chime? There's a well with nothing in it. I like this floating island. This is a Skyblock playthrough now. Yeah, it's a chill place. Soundtrack goes hard. Oh wait, okay, there's a door. Okay. What's up there? Okay. I like this wall pattern. That's cool, like a modern architecture, internal design. This really does feel like a modern apartment or house or whatever with the wall designs, or like a hotel. Oh, we're in the well.
This is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway.
And we're stuck at the bottom
Except
of the well.
For some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else.
Right.
Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Why is it a prison? Why do you describe it as a prison? Oh, goodbye. Floor. Oh. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Giant hole in the ground. Never mind, we get a table. Guess you don't get to choose. I want the 10 stoves. Right? You don't get to choose. Bars instead of window, I guess? Yeah, I guess that does give it somewhat a prison vibe. I think you should light up the room a bit. Thinking, LED ceiling lights with fluorescent ooh, we could go RGB style. I like the live Tesla coils, though. But I guess you just don't have a choice. Where exactly are you doing this from? None of these choices make any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. Who are you? Oh, more... Oh, God.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
No, I don't agree. Hold on. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, God. Hold on. I want to try and interpret this.
So,
oh.
okay.
No. Hold on. Oh, God. That feeling of your choices not mattering, almost. Being asked for input and then not having that really mean anything. And then just a maze of furniture just cluttering everything. The modern aesthetic, but just endless walls or something? I don't know.
Throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Okay. Hello, please walk forward. Okay, sure. Enabled you to escape any prison environment. Okay. Take care that you remember each step. Click on this table. Go to a photo frame and turn it slightly. Also, there's those 3 dots again. Now go turn this floor lamp in the room off, then turn it back on. Left side sofa, move it over a little. Touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Huh. I wonder if this is about Davy trying to break out of the thing. Soundtrack I never get tired of hearing it, no matter how simple it is. Yeah, the immersive, like it's got that some sort of vibe going on.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Oh, that's interesting.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well.
Oh God, okay, hold on. Again, the arguments about not having the game be playable, quote unquote. But the other thing was just like, okay, in that case, it's like knowing what you're supposed to do, knowing what you were taught to do in a situation, but then you can't do it for some reason, right? Like knowing, oh God, I know, like I remember learning about this or what I'm supposed to do. I learned about it either in school or from like parents or whatever, but like now you're in the situation and you can't do it. It's like something's stopping you, whether like it's different from what you were taught, and you just can't figure out how to adapt to it, or something else. Like okay, a personal anecdote. Recently, I was in like a car accident. No one got hurt. It was just I got rear-ended at like relatively low speed. And it's my first time being in like an accident, having to go through insurance or whatever. And it's a scary situation. Not like the car accident. That was scary, but like not after it was done, it was fine. But like like having to figure out like there's a whole lot of who do you contact? Like immediately, it's like finding your insurance stuff. Got call the cops or whatever. Got work with the other person, and then making phone calls between insurance companies and like the body shop and all that. And it's just like, oh God, there's like so much going on. And it's like I might have been taught this sort of stuff at some point in like a driver's ed course, but like I'm not going to remember it off the top of my head. Or like, what if the other person drove away at the start? Like the table would be missing, so to say, in this case. Or in this case, again, you can see what you want to maybe go to.
The inside of the prison is the outside, and the outside is the inside.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly...
Been through that, I know what you mean. Suddenly you have to trust the process. Yeah. Or just like, in this, like again, like with the table thing, it's just like, you know what you're supposed to do, but you can't for some reason. I just think that concept is really interesting.
Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And
I think this is awesome.
At what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on?
Nah.
But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense.
Ooh, I like this again.
Yourself. Without it, you just spiral.
Kind of. Okay, so again, what I was talking about iterating on something until it works. Maybe Coda just liked building this prison, or he wanted to find something that worked, and he just kept working on it until he got something he was satisfied with, or he knew something was here and you just wanted to keep going. And at some point, maybe if you're working on a project with a deadline or you want to have a finished thing that you want to share with other people, then yeah, you do need to cut it off at some point, cut your losses. But if you're just making it for yourself, then yeah, why not keep iterating on it until you get it how you want it to be?
And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons.
Right, yeah, that's what I was saying.
This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Oh? A hedge maze, almost? Huh. It's just the door, it looks like. Or like a telephone booth? Oh, there's the building or something. I don't know. But how is this an iteration of the prison game? Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me, I'm you. From after you skip the prison. Ooh. Calling the person in the prison. You're me? So you're trapped in the prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze. Yep, I was in the escape tutorial. I was in the reverse prison.
This is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. All of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Right. Oh god, the idea, I like the idea of this though, is that you might not know how you got through. And this reminds me of the puzzle, the other conversation with the guys asking about how to solve the puzzle earlier. You might not know how you do something until you've done it, right? You don't know how to escape something until you figured it out. And now, this whole idea of wishing you could tell past you how to do it, right? How to solve something, how to escape the prison. Wishing you could tell that to yourself in the past so that you could avoid all the nonsense. In a way, the iterations of this game were in itself that maybe that kind of prison of and then at the end figuring it out and talking back, wishing you could talk back to the beginning to tell past you that advice. I was in the escape tutorial, sure. It's glad to know you finally get out eventually. What's it like to escape? It's like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. Yep, that sounds right. Feeling different? Sometimes the scale will get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. Oh god, could this be an analogy for depression or something, or anxiety? Oh god, I feel like I could apply this to something like therapy or starting on medications or getting diagnosed on something and being scared about how it might change you and feeling hey, maybe I like things the way they are now, but knowing you want to get out of that. Does change, don't feel like the same person I was at all. That's nice to hear. Yeah, I want comfort past me, in this case. Age kind of does that, I'm still me, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Remember, enjoy who you are. Right now, it won't last. Ooh. That last one's ominous. I'm going with number 2. If you're me, then did you get a call from another version of me when you were trapped? I think I'm the first person to call back. Can you tell me how to get out? Well, that's not how the past and the future work, buddy. All I have to do is be sincere. All you have to do is tell me how you feel right now. Just talk with me for a bit. Be sincere. That's the best answer. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. It'll make sense. I like being a bit mysterious about that. Exactly, yeah. Oh god. This feels like a conversation I could be having with past me.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay.
Well, being told by yourself.
Wouldn't that be nice?
God. Mans need some BFE or GFE or something. Get one of those ASMR roleplay streams
So
going.
what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Ooh. Well, that was kind of what the comment section one was, wasn't it? Especially at the end.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Maybe? Oh god, I did take a shot anytime I say maybe. It's in response to the narrator, or to Davy's dialogue. Oh, hello. My goodness, I'm glad as heck that you showed up. Thought I might have to clean this entire house all myself, and how right miserable that would have been. Everyone know loathsome hands make lousy homes. Ooh, new dialogue system, slightly. Don't worry about me.
Notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games.
Yeah.
Including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on.
Right.
From here on
I like the
out, he
background
put
music
much
too.
more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Lousy homes make home loners. Are you cleaning this whole place? Yeah, I'll answer that first one. God, I like this background music. Well, now you might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Yeah, okay. Like, that's the table I want to see. Run to the bedroom and make the bed? Sure. Is this the bedroom? No. Bathroom. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a little bit? Yeah, sure. All we do tells Matt. Oh, this is about visual polish itself. This game is about polishing the visuals. And if this is about talking to another person and having someone else stay here, this might be about showing your work to other people for the first time and wanting to get all the details right, right? Like, and like, even if it's something you wouldn't do for otherwise, and then like, oh god, or maybe it's about having your own home tidy, and then like, you know, making something for yourself. You want it to be better even if you're not going to share it with other people, even if it's just your own home, wanting to clean it out a bit. Oh god. How'd you end up doing this job? Friend dragged me along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I've never been good at doing something for money my whole life. Never did like cleaning my own home. I've got some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Oh, speaking of demons, someone's put this couch all in a mess. Why don't you come straighten out those pillows there? Never felt so good. Oh, never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Gotcha. Here looks like someone spilled a drink all over the couch. Or by the couch, maybe mop that up while you're over there. Sure. Compelled to share incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No? No, stupid sorry, never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed, why don't you do that? Last I checked, the tub needs a scrub. Sure. No need to be perfect. Yeah, God, perfect is the enemy of good, is how the saying goes, I think. God, that perfection... Again, if this is about polishing the game itself, then that could be interesting. Not wanting it to be perfect, or not needing it to be perfect, or whatever. Are these books still scattered on the floor of the bedroom? Put them back on the shelf, sure. Perfect. These dishes off the table. Wait, oh, it repeats.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you. And eventually cohere into something meaningful.
They're all something meaningful, though. Darling, let me tell you something. In your lifetime, you're going to clean a lot of houses, and among all of those, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences. And none of them will be the ones that were easy. Just something to think about while you smooth out the rug in the bedroom. Oh, well, guess I'm doing that again.
Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
That's interesting. Yeah, the idea, what the housekeeper said about the ones that are the hardest are the ones that you'll, like, that are the most fulfilling in a way. And again, I really do think that this is about polishing up, like working on a project that you really believe in, polishing it up to make it good. But it's endless in a way. I said a really cheesy thought. I was gonna say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird saying that. There's a bit of truth in it, no? I noticed so many of the dialogue options are like self-doubt, in a way. That's interesting. So, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Yeah, I'll clean up the books. God, this soundtrack is so nice. It's a short loop, but it's just nice, peaceful. Pillow over the couch.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But, of course...
Do you enjoy this?
The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
God. Oh no, I see how this map's on. Okay. So if we're going back to the arguments they had about a game needing to be playable versus like something where versus being able to just have something you have to wait around for. And this is a game that he intentionally showed Davy. Like, he invited Davy to play this, as opposed to Davy asking to see. In that bit of, like, do you like this? The housekeeper asking, do you like this? Do you like going through, looping through, repeating the same chores over and over? Just polishing, polishing, polishing. Do you like this? Do you enjoy it? And asking that to Davy, I think, or just to himself. And, like, you know, Davy thinking you have to keep moving forward, you have to go through, you can't stay in this space for forever. Whereas maybe Coda did want to. Coda does want to just linger in the spaces, right? Perhaps. Or wants to make things where you have to sit and wait. But Davy doesn't. He doesn't get it. He doesn't like those types of things. He has to keep moving, and so he does. God. I'm so glad I played this. This is amazing so far. And the lamppost is back.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? that sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
I don't know. Got 2 or 3 years to go.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Why'd you come here today? Was it to improve your life? To get a better job? Make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, people in your life to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about in your life in that way? Who do you know who's so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you're useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It's so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective
Being
shifts.
perfect is effortless.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
I don't know where bigoted came from out of that. But there is that idea that, like, you know, you think that other people have it perfect or whatever, and you want to be like that, but everyone has their own messes going on, even the people who say they don't. And, like, you know, seeing this ultimate chaotic mess, or maybe they have a fear of presentations or whatever, like they don't like presenting to people. Like there's a big chaotic black hole of screaming behind the audience from the teacher's perspective. This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? Well, the way I took, should not follow their dreams. Oh, this is not... Oh, the gray dialogue is not true dialogue. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. So it's like... Oh, the gray ones are the inner thoughts, whereas the yellow ones are the exterior thoughts, maybe. You already said the prison Boxhead people seem to think the grass was greener in a different prison. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. Yeah, nope, okay. This is definitely... God. The perception of being perceived as, like, bright or whatever, even if you know nothing. Maybe... Oh god, maybe Coda had, like, a bad teacher like this. No shot this is meant to be Davy, right? If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, then you're not doing it right. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Yo, I'm developing assist growth. Wait. That you won't be happy until you love me. This is for you. Oh god, is he going through like a bad relationship at this point? Seek out only one thing. What is easiest? Simplest path forward. Haha, just kidding! Want to do some ecstasy after this? There's no truth. There's no path. This screaming mass of a black hole is really interesting up here. Like the existential dread, maybe, of not knowing the answers. Fear, like maybe stage fright or something? I don't know. What if I'm not a good teacher? Holy shit, you guys! Something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out! God. Do it is easiest. Do it as simplest. Feel what is true. Or maybe that is like consuming his audience or something. I don't know. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone run, run! Nothing. No one.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way.
Right.
And completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Right, yeah.
I think about this game a lot these days.
Yeah, valid. That feeling of perfectionism, I wonder. Oh,
This one
we're
took a
back.
lot
We're
longer
back to
than
the
all
prison,
others
kinda.
Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one.
Also reminds me of a fairly lame tip for public speaking. In a room that size, to avoid nerves, don't talk to anyone's face, talk to the back wall. Gotcha. Yeah, I actually, I don't know why. I never really had that. I don't think I ever had that big of a problem with public speaking, now that I think about it. Like, I did, like, debate in high school, and I did, like, chorus and stuff like that in middle school and all that, and theater in middle school as well, so I guess I just sort of built up a resistance to it. Like, I'm totally fine with giving presentation. The one time that I got nervous during a public speaking was whenever I was the best man at my brother's wedding, and that was just nervous because, you know, it's a really important thing to me, to him, to everyone or whatever, and I didn't. And I had to go off of memory. I didn't have my notes for myself, and I wrote the speech earlier that day. So, you know, I was nervous, and just, like, you know, emotions were high that day.
That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this. And it's not like it's particularly complex. So I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Maybe he ran into a bit of a rut or something? Maybe he had to individually stack all of these chair assets on top of each other and get them all layered properly, and that's what took forever. Can I just tell you the difference? You cared about the audience? Yeah, that too, exactly, yeah. It like there was meaning there. It cared about the audience and everything like that. It was important that I got it right and everything. And, you know, I was talking about genuine emotions of myself rather than, you know, arguing about mock bills, right? There's a stage here. Interesting. Hey, speaking of theater and public speaking. Well, it's my cue. Time to walk on. Innis enter from stage right, I believe. Jump scared. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, places! In this scene, you will be playing as me. You're at a gathering of professionals. First out, you start leaning against this wall. This music is... yeah, stage fright. Definitely stage fright. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. It's your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. It's a conversation starter, though. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I'm super, super scared right now. I like you. Here are all my hopes and dreams. God, yeah, this... okay, social anxiety moment. Knowing that you want to talk to somebody, but not knowing what to say. Feeling like in the past you might have known the options, and, like, all eyes are on you. And, like, you have just this one shot. You have all the wrong choices to pick from, and you know it after you answer, but you can't think of the right choice. I'm super scared right now. It's not what I said to her at all. Completely missing the tone in this conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it's just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need to feel it saying. There are lots of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Pinball! Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? Successful, wise, happy, focused. So we're acting as or acting as the coda, I guess, or something. Definitely some social anxiety stuff going on. And, like, that feeling of, like, wrong, like, so the director saying, wrong, this isn't who you are, this isn't what you're supposed to say. Or this is, like, but the fact that it's using past tense is, like, I was confident, like, as if this happened, then maybe it has something to do with the misreading of, like, Davey or someone else misreading his work and trying to analyze stuff and be like, no, you're getting it wrong, that's not what I was like at all, I wasn't reserved, I wasn't shy, I was confident. I knew what I was talking about. I knew how to talk to people. You're projecting. Right? Like, you don't know who I am, and you don't know how to be me or what my thoughts are. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. You're messing it all up again. You freak out if the conversation gets personal that quickly. You don't realize how important this was for me? I'll never get an opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I'm enjoying the pinball. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh, lamppost. Hello. Prison. Again. Having to watch. Oh god. It's because Davy keeps trying to interpret these prisons. Having to watch from... You have to watch the show from beyond, or from backstage, I guess. Not even from the audience, but you're seeing behind the curtain. Oh my god, okay, looking behind the games, looking as they're developing. You're seeing not from the audience, but from backstage. And you're trying to self-insert into, like, what he's thinking based on your knowledge from back here, but you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't know who you're being more separate. Oh, yes, now it's starting.
Ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life.
Hold on, wait. It said, like, this is what it was like or whatever, being behind several layers of cages or something? Layers of abstraction, the like, disassociation, maybe? Oh, wait one sec. I used to teach some communication presentation stuff, too, and in a small group, I'd ask people to tell me about any jobs that they've had or had before starting the seminar, like, we were killing time. I'd tell them I don't care about their lives, but they all just spoke in front of each other without a PowerPoint as a crutch because they were an expert on the subject. And I tell them I do care about their lives, but some audience members really won't, so you have to be able to process the moment where you feel like you just wasted your breath. Ooh. Oh, that's really good. I like that. That's such a cool way to do that. Oh god, good on you for that. That's such a cool way to breach that topic. Of, like, getting people, like, yeah, because a lot of people can talk a lot about stuff that they're passionate about to a lot of people, right? They can care, if it's something they care about, they can talk about it. If there's something they're experts in, they can talk about it. And it's just about, you know, trying to bring that confidence to everything you do. And knowing, A, when your audience isn't being receptive, and B, when to push through that anyway.
The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw.
No.
To hide himself away.
No, I don't think this is right.
Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself.
No, Davey, you are getting this wrong, and it is the wrong audience, or you are the exact audience for this, and you're getting it wrong somehow. So the feeling that I'm okay. First of all, I don't want to say he's getting it wrong. Any interpretations of a work are valid. Some of them are more or less supported by the evidence, but you can take whatever interpretation you want out of a work because it's yours. It's personal to you. Your meaning that you get out of a work isn't invalid. It hits hard in like 20 minutes. Be prepared in your subject, preparing your confidence, preparing your emotional resilience. Then you can use the rest of the seminar for the dull presentation structure stuff. Yeah, exactly. God. But no. Okay, so he's getting this wrong. It's not about him locking himself inwards. He's confident. He's saying that he's confident. Davey keeps projecting this lack of confidence onto him, this reservedness, maybe just because he was being reserved towards Davey, who was being overpressuring. Or yes, you can ask the seminar, do you want some ecstasy after this? Yeah, God. But no, so it's like and this is saying, because again, it's not like you're withdrawing further backstage because it's trying to lock Davey further away from the work, I think. Deeper inside, or maybe deeper inside it? I don't know. Because again, this is the player being locked away, not the developer. And he was saying, hey, try acting as me. It's not that you are me, you're acting as me. and you're doing it wrong. You're getting it wrong. You're getting. I'm more confident than you're portraying me as. I'm more capable than you're portraying me as. And the way that we can fix this performance, this difference, is by putting you further away, deeper backstage.
And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person.
No, that's the opposite of the goal. Oh god. No,
What can you do?
This is a toxic relationship between them. Between the two of them. Coda is just trying to bring some space, put some healthy boundaries, but Davey is just not letting it happen.
After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
We're reaching near the end. Because it went to 2011, right? Mobius Trip. Play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. I hate to say this. I read that as Morbius Trip at first. But okay, let me close my eyes. Well, I imagine there's a game there. I hear audio, but I'm gonna open my eyes. Okay. Can't you do something? Can't you fix this? We're gonna crash, aren't we? But no, I have no idea where. Help, I'm blind. What's going on? Oh. A Morbin time, another ruined phrase. Help, I can't see anything. Okay. What's going on?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise.
Yeah.
And there is a solution, by the way.
We're gonna crash. Blind, medical. Blind. Ines! Skuldart! Hello! We are doing some weird game. Oh my god, it's the door. Wait. It's the door. It's the door puzzle. Wait, we go to medical, right? There's the one guy who said medical. I swear someone said medical. Oh, captain. I see. Please, someone talk to me. Skuldart, how are you? Oh, hello, elevator. Okay, hold on. Up we go. Truth. The only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. I am hurting, bursting with creative energy. I can't keep making these. That's it. That's the truth. Wait, hold on. Seriously, if you ever watch the other people stream this game, you'll have to be prepared to lose faith in humanity. You will see some people agreeing with all the stuff you're identifying as worrisome. Oh, God. Yeah, that's the... I came into this kind of knowing a bit about what this game is about. So I knew my guard was up already. And I also have the help of being both, like, I'm well aware about the concept of parasocial relationships, and also as a game developer, I know, and like someone who does media analysis stuff, I can, like, I know how to take a deeper look into the meanings of this sort of stuff. But yeah, okay, having to speak the truth and saying, I can't keep making this. Oh god. I wonder if saying bursting with creative energy would have been a wrong solution. The one by Parable people? Yeah, no, it's been really good so far. That's it, that's the truth. I don't feel it anymore, I'm out of ideas, it's draining me.
Like I said, I was getting concerned.
It's draining me.
First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So, where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore.
Hey, that's...
he was being a lot more distant than usual.
That type of thing was actually what I was talking about like, it's hard coming up with new ideas once you get to a certain point. I don't know if that's what this is about, though. The frustration here feels more like not getting satisfaction out of making the things. Like,
you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing.
right.
Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
No, I'm sorry. Davey, I can't figure out how to say the thing, speaks volumes to me. Yeah, for sure. I was talking about that earlier with the social anxiety thing on the stage, where it's like all the answers, all that you could choose from were wrong, but you don't know that they're, well, you know that they're wrong afterwards, immediately after you say it, but just that feeling of like, I don't know what else to say. But also, again, Davey, I'm sorry, he wants some space. He wants space, that's it. He doesn't, you and him aren't getting along in the way that you think you are. I'm sorry. I'm alone, I'm stuck in it, I have to work harder. I'm stuck in it, I guess? We're going to be okay. And that's truth saying that. He knew that Davey was going to open his eyes.
More desperate from here on out.
Uh-oh.
After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
I still love the one game with the cleaning the house. That and the one that we just played are probably my favorite so far, and maybe the walking backwards one. Hello? Wow, okay. Oh, distortion, okay. 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, yeah, it just keeps getting longer. I feel like my mind would implode trying to understand this game. It's something. It's certainly something. I've been comparing it to poetry and modern art and stuff like that, so I definitely understand that. I feel like I have exactly the right background to get the most out of this game, to be honest. Of an aspiring game designer who's worked on a lot of small personal projects, many of which haven't gone anywhere, and as someone who, like an entertainer who's been immersed in online culture and who is very well familiar with parasocial stuff. How do I get out of here? That seems like a very direct question. Is that a person? How lovely! Oh, is that Truth again? It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. Can I point out a thing on this map? If you walk past it, it'll be the closest I get to spoiler. Yeah, that's fine. If I miss it, go for it. What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas when I try to create. I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. We'll go with the second one. Oh no! What happened? Did something change? There's a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. Can I jump to that? No, okay. Also, thank you for asking, CD. But yeah, no, if I miss it, go ahead. I'm probably not going to be replaying this on stream at any point. Let's see, there's a machine that kept me going and it stopped. That's like a drive that was like, you had that internal energy, and then I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. That's interesting. Protect is an interesting word choice there. I want to see where this goes. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't fair. Or it isn't far, okay. What? I need to see it to know why it stopped. It sounds like Coda needed to go to therapy, I'll be honest. All things considered. Davey as well, everyone. Everyone should go to therapy, but yeah.
Featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations. This one turns it up to 11.
I can take you to it, but there's a problem. It's guarded by a difficult puzzle. If you can solve it.
Whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder, even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore.
Right.
What is it for?
So first of all, I'll get to that in a bit, but first of all, I can tell you that it's guarded by a puzzle. Help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? Deal, deal, doesn't matter what I say, it does it. We're going to end up there one way or another, right? That island with the rock, it has strong anatomy vibes? Do you mean this? Does it look like a dick? Is that what you're saying? Or... I don't know. I'm not sure if I see what you're talking about. God, I'm gonna answer, but first, okay, I want to say that, what he was saying there about keeping going, there can be that feeling like you only have one life path forwards, and that you like, it's like, oh, I've been doing this for all my life, I've been putting so much effort into this, this has to be what I do in the future, this has to be what I dedicate myself to, not thinking about changing the path, right? Not thinking about changing where you're going. So you like keep throwing yourself into something that you know doesn't work for you just because you think you have to, that you have no other path forward. Which I think this third answer, oh, deal, okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter what I say type thing. That feeling. Perfect. It's gonna be the door puzzle, isn't it? Come along, I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was.
Here's the puzzle.
He was in his
What do you
own
think?
little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Maybe he didn't need an outlet, though. I don't know. Okay, also, there was the path split to either side of an opening, and there's a rock at the far end. Very female. Ah, okay. Gotcha. I don't know if that's spoilery, but it's certainly funny. Hey, I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First, you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now you have to close the first door. Alright, now what's next? Now just press the switch here. That was so simple.
You can't talk.
Can't believe I never
yourself
solved it
out
before.
of loneliness. It doesn't work that way.
You can live
You
on...
can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
To an extent, yeah. I just... Different people handle isolation different ways. Like, you can be alone, but not lonely. Like, you can find gratification in something on your own, and in a way, you like, a toxic relationship is worse than no relationship at all. Right? Like, sometimes it's fine to just be alone with yourself. Disconnect from everything. Take some time to think. It's almost like like the whole thing, this whole area gives me a vibe of like meditation. And I think that's what it's going for. Okay, here we are. When I try to create, I feel empty. How did I get out of here? Hello, I need to see why it stopped. Wait, there's like crying now? These are all the answers that I've given so far. There's no machine here. Trust me, you'll see. Yeah, why is it crying now? You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Oh god, this goes back to the perfection guy, doesn't it? And it's about not being sincere. Right? It's lying to yourself at this point. You can get the machine started to keep you safe, but you're lying to yourself if you're... Like, it's not gonna be joyous 100% of the time. Oh god. Ah, that just feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Why did the walls just crumble? Why did it feel so awful when I said that? Also, I can see... Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. I get it. Oh, these are all the dialogue choices I made throughout the game. No, wait, no. Some of these I didn't say. Why'd I feel so awful when I said that? Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation's easy. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
God. This sort of lying to this, like, false positivity. The idea of, like, oh, I'll just grind and set through it or whatever. Oh, I love doing this. If I say it, then it must be true. Like, God, my biggest value, I think, personally, is, like, sincerity and authenticity. Like, I cannot be fake for the life of me. It's why, like, a lot of times I struggle with, like, social media promotion and stuff like that. Or whatever. It's just, like, I can't be fake. I can't do it. It kills me to do it. It hurts. It hurts inside when I try to do that. And seeing Coda, like, talking about doing this to himself as the only way to drive his work forward or whatever, feels, ugh. Just never stop creating. God, the crying in the background too. Perfect. This feels fantastic.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
And some of these, it started out with decisions with words that I had said, but now it's words that I hadn't said. It's breaking from the walls of what's real, what's true, what you believe, what you actually chose to say. Then to some things you've said are real, some things are not. And then all fake, all lies, all things that you're pretending to say, things that you never actually said. I know what you mean. I can't stand a situation where I have to talk to people and I know the truth is the worst thing I could say. That's why I play Raid Shadow Legends. God, if I ever have to do a sponsorship for something I don't believe in, I'm going to die. Knowing this is helping, I'm going to vomit. Please, where's the machine? The machine isn't there anymore. The drive is gone. Like, sometimes you have to accept that. The things that you liked before, you're not going to like them forever. I'm going to vomit. Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please continue. All sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. It all pays off eventually. This one actually is, I kind of believe, almost. Yes, more, keep going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Yeah. I don't think you're the best vessel for that change, though, buddy. Some of these are real, some of these are ones I didn't answer, though. God, this last answer is awful. I will be... There's no shame, no fear, no guilt. Incredible. That's it. I'm free. I'm free. Broken out of the prison of sincerity and out into the freedom of lies. If you lie about stuff, you can do so much more. There's so much freedom there. All up into a new... Oh, yep, there she is, crying.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, just takes longer and longer each time. By a month. The machine. Ma'am, glad to see you ride safety. Capture the machine is waiting for you now. Begin the interrogation whenever you like. Intend to be quick. Very good. Warn that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Oh, fuck. The motivation was not... The machine was the protection, the motivation that helped someone else. It helped Davy. Davy got inspired by that work, right? And feeling more than anything that when Coda gets separated, it felt awful for him. It was someone else who was crying whenever that was stuck in the prison. Davy couldn't handle being locked up in there, feeling more separated from Coda. He needed the machine, air quotes, not even humanized. There's the press. When we get to this machine, what do you do with it? Do you know where the poisons get? Give us the answers. Will the machine ever explain itself? God. There it is. Oh, the 3 dots almost, kinda.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us happy. Yeah, this is... Okay, the machine calls itself Coda. This is... I'm Davy. Here, this is made for Davy. Your work was keeping us alive. Viewing him as just a machine to spew out content inspiration when he doesn't want to do it anymore. There's people out there, can you imagine what pain you put them through? It's only because of your creations that any of us can make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? I wonder if this is real conversations that Coda and Davy had, supposedly. Check out those gears. Yeah, they're not moving, huh? Gears aren't moving. The belt is the 3 dots, kinda. 3 together, they'll never turn. Oh, yeah. Can't ever turn. Good catch. Never worked in the first place. It's only because of your creations that all of us can make it through every day. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. I've seen the thing you fear. Alright then. I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. Oh god. More about speaking for them. Talking for Coda and not actually, you know, letting Coda just be Coda. Oh my god, and then Davy is talking on Coda's behalf all this time as well, yep. Oh, gotta be parasocial about this. My friends! I have a troubling revelation. Gotta sound pretentious. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. Gotta use the loaded language. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We'll find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us show it that we are not failures. Oh, do we want to destroy the machine or everything that's created? Davy's destroyed what is created. By analyzing it these ways, by giving it the wrong interpretation. We're back on the stage, rather than being separated from it. We're on the stage, we can ruin it again. Rip apart the audience, yeah, oh god, ripping apart the viewer's experience. Making sure that you're known forever. From stage. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, I got this Omega right. Okay. Yeah, from the viewer's experience, like, ruining the viewer's experience from backstage by breaking the game. Is it what you're scared of? Exposed to the view of others every day forever, seen in naked clarity?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive.
Nope, it's not
At
self-destructive.
the time
You're
that I first
destroying
played
it.
this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him.
No.
And that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people. To get some actual
No,
feedback.
you're
on
the one
game.
destroying it,
It
Davey.
might get him out of isolation.
I'm sorry, Davey. You've gotten it all wrong.
So, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate.
No, this is exactly...
Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback. So, what if I did it for him?
No, you're...
If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Did a little smiley face there. Oh, we're back in the idea room. Yeah, we're just deconstructing everything. God, yeah. This is what Davey's doing to him. Destroying it. It's just all breaking.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work.
Yeah, I did
There
too.
was nothing for him to be afraid of.
And then you showed it to people in a way that it wasn't meant to be. Put down your weapon. Oh my god, we're gonna destroy Coda.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need. To be told that my work is good.
Yeah, I can tell,
I am
buddy.
good.
I can tell.
When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better.
I can tell why you feel
I
that,
got
buddy.
to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something.
No.
I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it.
No,
If
no,
I could
no,
get
no,
in
no,
this
no,
gift,
no,
maybe
no,
I
no,
could
no.
fix the problem.
No.
When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully.
Again,
beautiful.
parasocial stuff again. God, yeah, no, it's not what he wanted.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while.
Right.
So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
God. The tower.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the
It's
world.
trying to distance itself from
It's a
you.
very cold game.
You're the one it's trying to distance itself from. It's a private link. It was made for you. This is for you, Davey.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Oh, okay.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing
Yeah.
and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
He knew you were going to do this. He knew you were gonna break his game open and have to do this. He made it as hostile to play as intended as possible so that you felt the need to break it open again, like you did with everything else.
Fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable.
No, it is.
Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever.
Oh my god.
I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end.
Oh my god. And then he inserted the message about having to keep moving forward that he modded in. Oh my god, I was so right. Okay. Patting myself on the back for that one. Holy shit, it was literally, you're supposed to just hang out there for as long as you want. You can stay in the space. You can stay in that liminal space. You can hang out. You can take it slow. You can just relax in the nice thing. But no, Davey thinks you have to keep moving forward, and he modded it in and then said that that was the interpretation. That was what it meant after he broke the game open.
But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
But the cleaning game cuts at the moment you're asked, do you enjoy this? Yeah. Maybe the conversation got less casual. Yeah, that too. What's the point of having an invisible maze? To be stuck. And to have you cheat. To have you break it open. Modify this like you've broken all of his other projects.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code.
Oh wait, I got it.
Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here.
The prison also
Put the code
had...
on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
The prison also had that long gap that you were supposed to wait. Oh wait, I had it for a moment. Nice. Yeah, the prison also had that long gap you were meant to wait for, but you just didn't. And yeah, maybe that one was confrontational. I mean, it's supposed to loop forever. Well, it didn't even feel like it was looping forever. Like, the chores looped forever, but the dialogue kept changing. Maybe there's a point when the dialogue did end, but who knows. I wonder if I'm the first person he's showing this game to.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem.
You are the problem! He's been trying to signal to you!
Failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
This is apparently from the email containing a private link to the game. Yeah, exactly. God, you are the problem, buddy. And he's been trying to convey it to you through these games, and you just haven't gotten it. Davy's Eyes only, yeah. So he probably hasn't presented it to anyone else yet, so I wonder if he's gonna find something by the end of this.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
It's because you missed the message of everything else.
It's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person.
Yeah.
I have no idea who this person is.
No, you don't know.
It
Oh, hello,
wasn't
another
the guy I
SB.
knew, it wasn't my friend.
Welcome for the follow. Or thank you for the
I'd
follow.
come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for.
Right.
I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
It's not about what the games mean to him necessarily, it's about what the games mean to you.
And he wouldn't.
What they mean to him only goes so far. It's about what you get out of the experience.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was
Make
that
my
I
work his
needed
own,
to
yeah,
see
or his work my
myself
own.
as someone else. I needed to be someone other than me.
Yeah, you were projecting. That's what the acting
But he
thing was
saw
about.
it and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
You did. You just still don't see it, not even now. You failed as a friend. You fucked up, man. Sorry. Coda decided to go no contact. He left this as the final message to hopefully maybe get the point to you. But... Dear Davey, thank you for the interesting games. I need to ask you not to speak to me
I
anymore.
am the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I?
You finally got it.
It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Mm-hmm. You sure did. I like the tiny little things that you can't... the tiny little... I know this is a serious moment, but this is kind of cute. Anyway.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of these games were made for Davey at the very end here. But most of them were made for Coda. They were just something... They didn't have to be experienced. They didn't have to be playable. They could just be. They could just be for himself. You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant
And
solutions in my work
the
somewhere
people
hidden
who
between
played them,
games.
They treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
God. You're so infected my personal space that's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. Yeah, that idea of, like, to some extent, you do start catering to the person that keeps... Yeah. There was an answer, a meaning. Would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Yeah, it was about boundary. God, yeah, oh, God, I am... Oh, fuck, I got the hard read. But yeah, this is... God, I'm sad that I got the read, but it is... Because it's depressing, right? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Oh, he didn't... I had a feeling the lamppost didn't make sense, right? They... Like, I was thinking about what sort of symbolism there might be, and notably, Davey didn't ask... He asked what the 3 dots meant, not what the lamppost meant. And... I was thinking, what possible symbolism? Because, like, it didn't really line up with whatever else I was getting to read about Coda. And that makes sense that the narrator, that Davey added them in, trying to give meaning to something he just didn't understand. To someone he didn't understand. Would you simply let them be the way that they are?
Left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Yeah, filling the void in his life purpose or something? Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. Yeah, that's why. God, yeah, fuck, I was. Oh, God, I am so true, so real. I was talking about, like, sometimes you just have to. You just keep going. You can keep pushing through ideas. It takes a while. Like that staircase, it takes a while, but you get there, and it's satisfying. There's highs and lows. Like, you can come back to old stuff. You can revise it. That prison scene was, like, all those iterations meant something to him. And it's like, it takes a while, and eventually you get it. Or even if you don't, that's fine. The fact that you think that I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than me. Yeah, projection. Oh my god. God, that theater scene where it's talking like, I am confident. You're the one who's portraying me wrong. I realize that this just doesn't make sense to you yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. Yeah, but he thinks he is. God, smart TM. Oh my god. But I do hope one day it clicks, and that you make peace that with this thing that you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I am talking about, don't say anything. God, chills.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything.
Oh god, now he has to sit in the dark space. If you do replay, there are tiny details early in the game that will cause even more backpadding. Gotcha, yeah. Holy shit. I really did pick up on a lot of this, didn't I? God. And I'm not gonna give myself too much credit because I did have some level of spoilership spoilers going into this. But I got a lot more than I thought I would. But now I love that. Setting up the puzzle here, where, you know, you have to lock yourself into the dark space and then you're supposed to be able to continue from there. But now you can't. You have to sit here with the thoughts in this space. You have to.
And so a part of me has hope
Unless this door
that
leads somewhere.
if I
No, it
put this
doesn't.
compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again?
No, it's not about that. It's still... He doesn't want to anymore. Unless, not with you involved at least. And you're still dependent in that case. You're still needing what he's creating. You haven't solved the issue for yourself. Apologizing to him doesn't fix this. Davey, in this case, needs to work on himself. He needs to find his purpose, what makes him happy on his own. Without Coda's work.
Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in.
It's not. You were projecting. You were projecting. I'm sorry.
I mean, is something wrong with me?
Yeah, go to therapy.
'Cause I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict.
Yeah,
There
go.
has to be something wrong with me.
Go to therapy,
Can I
buddy.
apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it?
Even Davy's rudimentary understanding of Source being limited to boxy rooms and corridors, meanwhile environments are grand and at times organic. Yeah, exactly. There were some, really, well set up environments that he broke out of the limitations of his space. Yeah, sure, the basics of Source are boxy, but you can do so much more with it. You're right, yeah. But also, yeah, I literally just said, no, this won't fix it. Just apologizing won't fix it. There's something you need to work
I don't
on.
know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's not what he wants. He just wants to be separate from you at this point. And for you to work on yourself, buddy. He just said that on the walls there.
Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete.
Oh, these walls are getting
whatever
thinner.
That wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please.
Oh my god.
I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
The walls were crushing in. Ugh. But yeah, no, you need to get that from yourself, buddy. Go to therapy. TM. It's something you're not going to find from someone else's work. You can't just be latched onto that forever. Can't be dependent like that. Epilogue. Oh, Grand Central. Right? Where are we going?
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of need for validation, seeing someone else's work that you believe in, wanting, like, feeling like there's that idea of like the being like the work that goes into being a critic is way less than the work in making something, and feeling validation of being like, ooh, look at this cool interpretation I found. There's like cool stuff, like media analysis is itself a valid field of like doing that, but it's not your work still. People can get different interpretations, and if you're twisting the work to your image, then what exactly are you doing? Like, you're making something out of it, kind of, but it's not theirs anymore. You've taken it from them in that case, and you're mischaracterizing the person. Like, if you spend too much, like, it's fine if you're like, this is what I get from this, but it's where it crosses the line is when you say, this is what it means about the person, for certain. Yeah, a nice subway, or a nice train.
Solution.
People aren't meant to be solved, not like that. Yeah, this man's really has the whole I can fix him mentality.
If someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Yeah. There's other interpretations of it too that isn't depression. Like, you can feel stuck. There can be low points in your work. You can feel maybe trapped or anxious or whatever. Or maybe they do just like making prisons. Maybe there's nothing more to it. You can get that like, I took the interpretation about like I applied it to anxiety and stuff like that because that's how I relate to it. But that might not be the author's interpretation. But to an extent, it doesn't really matter what the author's meaning is. If you think
Even now,
something about it, then that's fine.
Telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
No, man, no, I don't hate you, Mr. Davey. Just please go to fucking therapy. It's like a maze of rooms or something. Oh, just a loop or something. Pile of dirt. So did Coda make this game? The one that we're currently playing in this epilogue? Like a cave. The lighting here does good work for level design stuff to know where you should go. And god, this soundtrack.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Right. To an extent, I get that too. Like, like, my personal dream... Actually, no, I'm gonna have this with the soundtrack on. My personal dream is to, like... I want to make things... Something, anything, really. That reaches an audience of people that I don't even know, and that gives them some kind of meaning, whether it's personal to them or whatever. It might be something I intended, it might be something else. Like, if they're able to find something, like, profound or just fun, or, like, something, get anything out of my work or whatever, then, like, I will have succeeded, right, at life. And I want it to be something I can be proud of. And to an extent, that is kind of external validation, because I'd want to know that they got something out of the work. Otherwise, I wouldn't know if I succeeded or not. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Hell, that's part of what I'm doing with streaming. Like, this is content that I'm making. I want people to get something out of it, whether it be education or new, like, profound interpretations or whatever, a feeling of comfort or community, anything. I want to do it with game design. There's plenty of ways to do it making games. It's just that's my goal as a creative. I want to make something that other people get something out of. So I get it. So inspiring it is. Thank you. I gotta be real for a minute.
What now?
I don't know if that counts as validation in a way, but it feels different somehow.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna...
It's okay, I'll keep you grounded by forgetting you as soon as I close the tab. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's okay, you just gotta step back, work on yourself, Davey. It's okay. Go to therapy, find your own life purpose, and then apologize to Coda. And actually, he even said don't talk or whatever, don't say it or don't speak. And now we get to experience it as intended, on its own. No one else, just me, the game, and an audience of however many Twitch viewers. God. What a fucking game. Down the hole. An elevator. Slow. And sometimes slow is fine. God. I'm just stunned. I don't know what to say at this point. I've run out of profound wisdom to talk about. And we're back in Grand Central. Again, the level design is so good. I love the lighting. If this is all made in Source Engine, good fucking work. Even if I can see the geometry up there. Again, another slow... I say that, but then there's echoing. Another slow, contemplative segment. Just sometimes it's about taking time to think. Taking time. I should be sleeping right now, but my god. Yeah, right? What a fucking game. Also, oh my god. You can jump into the thing, and it fixes everything. It fixes the machine. The Whisper Machine. You die in the process, but you sacrifice yourself, but it fixes it. And then you ascend, right? And you get to see everything from up above. Holy shit. The labyrinth. Just an infinite maze. It's life, right? Just an infinite maze. You don't know where you're wandering. You gotta find your own purpose in there, right? But God, is it pretty. Fuck, man. I wonder if Davey definitely implemented the dying thing instead of the levitating thing in the first level. I'm convinced of that now. He fixed the bug, air quotes. Chills every time, don't skip anything, yeah. Holy shit. What a fucking game. I'm so glad I played this. Or R. I wonder who R is.
Said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles.
God.
And you're so tired. But I know that you're strong. So turn back. Turn back.
Fuck, man. Holy shit, guys. I got a lot out of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Thank you, Skulldart. I got a lot out of the Stanley Parable. Also as a game developer, as someone who has like existential crises on the mind. About free will and all that. The fucking lamppost too, yeah. But like, God, this was like deeply personal. Like I haven't run into that same, like, God, there were a lot of topics covered here that were personal to me, even if I don't relate necessarily to Davey or Coda directly as to like their dynamic. Like I haven't had anyone destroy my work in that way or whatever on accident. I haven't had that sort of toxic relationship. At least I don't think so, unless I'm the Davey and I don't know it, but I don't think that that's the case. But like, you know, there's a lot of stuff in there that, intentional or not, that I got a lot out of about, or that I acknowledged being able to, that sort of like personal motivation stuff, climbing those stairs, not knowing what's ahead, being uncertain, maybe being anxious about it, maybe being excited, that chilling out. I got all those predictions, like holy shit. But yeah, no, this was a magical experience, honestly. Fuck, man. My brain is just, am I the Davey, right? Like, you that a lot of times you might not know. Like, there might be hints, but yeah. If you notice people getting more distant in your life, first of all, reach out to them. But then, like, you know, you can be like, you sometimes, like, if it's a consistent thing, then you gotta be like, wait, is it me? And then also just knowing, like, you know, finding something to get out of your own life that's not dependent on someone else, whether that be a relationship or inspiration or whatever. Finding something that's your own, that you can be motivated by, pushing you forward. That's really important. And not trying to read too much into people based on only fragments of what you get from them. Fun fact, one of the proposed logos in TSP's Ultra Deluxe Stanley Parable 2 reveal office area uses game's design. Oh, that's awesome. That's a cool Easter egg. Earlier I was saying that watching streams of the game can be awful. Sometimes there's a chat full of Davies. Yeah. God. And sometimes there's a streamer who's also a Davey, isn't it? I wonder how many people got gut punched on the opposite side. Like, where they were on the same side as Davey, and then they see the scenario, it's like, fuck, okay. Like, they got gut... Because I was lucky enough that I got the gut punch of, like, finally Davey understands, right? Or he didn't even understand. Even by the end of that, he didn't... He started to get it. He finally started to get it near the end when he's like, I need to take a step back, think about myself, goals that are outside of validation. How many codas are out there? Yeah. God, fuck, okay. What a game. What a fucking game. God. Normally, at this point, I'd go out and raid someone, but, like, I can't think of, like, the mood, like, God, the mood is just, like, it's just such a nice conclusion. I don't think I can find someone with a matching energy. The only thing I could think of is, like, an ASMR stream, right? Like, then you get the people who struggle with the fact that the game is, a game, a work of fiction itself. Yeah, definitely. Like, this is definitely not real. This is anecdotal. Like, this is, analogy of some kind. Coda isn't real. the Davy that we see in here is not necessarily true to Davy IRL, even if it might have aspects of him in it, right? But yeah, no, there's that scene. I think the most powerful one to me was, like, the one that really gave it all away was the stage. The stage where you were acting as Coda, and he said, hey, you're going to be playing as me. And it's like, you know, you're being awkward and reserved and anxious or whatever. And then he's like, no, that's wrong. That's incorrect. I'm confident. I'm not depressed. I'm not anxious. I know how to talk to a certain person. You're portraying me wrong. And then he's like, okay, hey, I know how to fix it. And you go backstage, further backstage, and just keep going. It's further away, locked away. You still know what's going on behind the scenes because you're backstage, but you're not doing this. You're not portraying me. Narrator Davy is a character written by Dev Davy, and Dev Davy created every bit of geometry that we're told was made by Coda, even though we were told then that was made by Narrator. Yeah, exactly. It's complicated. Shocked with the fact that I'm legally adult now, well, for 3 years. Yeah. No, I was talking about that earlier, at the beginning of the stream, about, like, the idea that you know you need to move forward, but you're not sure what the path ahead is. But even though you don't know what's ahead, you have this sinking feeling that things keep changing. It just feels unstable. And the only way you know how to go forward is by locking the past behind you, right? You have to keep going ahead blindly. And only once you reach the end can you see what the path was from the beginning. God. Fuck, man. I wonder what the 3 dots mean. I wonder what that lamppost... Well, I kind of know what the lamppost meant to Davy. It was trying to tie something together, even if it wasn't meant to be. Fuck, okay. Well, slight change of mood. Be ready for a mood jump scare. It's called I Am Old, and it never makes any more sense. And it always looks like the same, like, makes sense to other people, but they're also pretending. Yeah, that the professor segment was... God, all of the segments of this game were so fucking good. Professor segment about people thinking they know what they're doing, but they actually are still just as... They don't know. They're just pretending. God, the state. And then with the gun, and you have to destroy... Like, you're destroying the game itself and the audience's perception. Like, while still being on the stage, you're still at the area where you're in control. Like, you're behind the scenes. You're in the code, so to say. And then... Life is amazing. Fucking sucks for everyone. Some people are better at lying. I wouldn't say it sucks for everyone. It's chaotic. It can suck at times, but there's ups and downs. The lows are part of it, but, you know. God. But, mood jump scare. We're moving to my chatting screen. Hello! God. What a game. I think I'm just gonna end off here. I need to get some more water, use the bathroom and all that stuff, and I need to get to sleep relatively soon. Thank you all for coming with me on this journey, sticking around, providing your commentary, not doing spoilers and stuff like that. I feel like I got... What a streamer! God, thank you. God, I hope you guys got any amount out of that as I did. Because holy hell. Yeah, no, that was like a profound experience. Holy shit. God. Well, it's 4 a.m. here. I was planning on sleeping at some point. Yeah, go the fuck to bed. Go the fuck to bed, CD. Get out of here. You're a grown-ass man. Get out of here. You're gonna go to sleep. Or grown-ass man, woman, they, them. I don't know your pronouns. You're a grown-ass person. Get out of here. Sleep time. It's only 11:13. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I take my melatonin at midnight and I fall asleep around 1 a.m. So I need some time to wind down and all that. So thank you all for coming along. Make sure to follow me here on my Twitter if you want to know I'm going live next. Tomorrow I'll be streaming Omega Strikers, which is coming out tomorrow. It's a sports game type thing. It's top down. I have a stream at 11 hours. Ooh, good luck, Skuldart. Remember the path and Dr. Langeskov the Tiger and the Terrible Curse Emerald and Whirlwind Heist. Yeah, I'll put that on the list of things that I might have to check out. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be playing Omega Strikers. It's a like MOBA inspired, Rocket League inspired game. Super cool. Coming out. It has a VTuber representative as one of its spokespeople or whatever. It's actually really fun. And I'm excited for it. So I'll see you guys there tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone. And don't be a Davey. And if you're going to be a Davey, at least realize it and have better self-awareness than Davey does. And now you get to spend the rest of the night trying to psychoanalyze me based on my reaction to this game, right? Yeah, exactly. Building up a profile about who I am based on how on my stream. That's definitely the right move here, right? That's definitely... I'm the machine making the content, right? Yeah, no, definitely. Anyway. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams. All that stuff. Wait, what? What's the final thought? Yeah, go for it. You have the stage, you have the floor. And I will awkwardly be silent here, staring at you this whole time until you say it. So you better get those fingers moving fast. The game title, Ready Steady Fish. Yeah, there were a couple ones, like there was like one about porn stars die too or something like that. There were a lot of weird titles. I didn't quite get all of them. I feel like there's more to interpret with all of them as well. Maybe something to do with like bait when Coda began poking at Davy. Maybe. Fishing for reactions, yeah. Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah, fishing also does have that sort of like serene, waiting, just vibing quality, right? Like fishing is... If there's any activity that really captures what that I think Coda's headspace was at, it'd be fishing. Like it reminds me of like the cleaning game where you're just, vibing, just relaxing, waiting, patience, just chilling. You might not get anything out of it. You're probably just gonna release the fish back into the lake or the river or whatever. But it's just, chill. You hang out for a bit. For a while. You're not trying to get anything out of it. There's no destination to go. God, I think the most egregious thing was when Davey cut that game off early and then inserted his own message explicitly there. That was like, you have to keep moving. It's like, no, that's not what was intended. It's like, that space was nice. God. I could see how he felt like that way, right? Because, like, he needed more content to leech off of, frankly. He couldn't just explain the same game over and over. He couldn't get that validation from that over and over and over. He needed Coda to keep moving so that he could have more. He needed the machines to keep going. God. I feel bad for Coda, this hypothetical person, just because, like, I could tell he was trying so hard to get the message across at some point. Like, whether it be just venting his own frustrations to himself, or intentionally showing it to Davey, of like, hey, this is what you're doing to me. And Davey just didn't notice. God. Yeah, well. I ought to head out. Rest up, drink water, stretch, all that good stuff. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.